What's good, and welcome back once again to some BioShock. Alright, so you what? I tried to complete the medical ward in the last one, but I didn't get to because I made a lot of detour. I got a few new skills. I got the new telekinesis power. I got a charger for my shock. And I got the shotgun. So now I'm going to try and complete the medical ward now, or the medical pavilion right now, and see where we go next from them. So enough talking, let's just jump in and continue. Alright, let's go. I like the telekinesis because, yeah, what? It's powerful and it takes whoop whoop. And it takes less power, see? Okay. Ah shit. Come on, give me. Ah, there we go. The last one is moving a little faster than I expected. Nice. Money. Oh, I didn't even see her there.
Shimmering like a scalpel. Steinman, she calls. Steinman, I have what you're looking for. Just open your eyes, and when I see her, she cuts me into 1,000 beautiful pieces.
Man, you're mad. Mad. This looks like our boss battle leader.
What can I do with this one, Aphrodite? She won't stay still! I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out wrong! That one too fast! This one too tall! An intruder! He's ugly! Ugly!
We cannot get that personal skill, you know.
Look at you, idiot!
The nose looks terrific, Dr. Simon. Doctor?
You know, looking at her now, I didn't realize how much her face. Scalpel.
Excuse me?
Scalpel.
Doctor, she's not booked for a facelift.
Come in here.
Yep, it's definitely a motherfucker.
Look in a mirror! Let's call it, nurse.
Oh shit.
Death? 6:48.
So by minute,
It's this thinning hair, Jim. Every day there's less and less. You know the problem's not.
come on, where is it? Where the hell is? Ah, here it is. Ah, here's the other one. Correct.
Welcome to the circus of value.
Buy one more of that.
Hey, I don't go for all that complacent stuff. We're buddies, and it's not safe. Shows you what your buddy knows. Open a genetic horizon.
Where is he?
Look at you!
Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
It's my patient!
Backside, bud.
You alright? It was time somebody took care of that sick bastard. Make sure you get the key off Steinman and head back to emergency access. I'm working my way to the backside of Port Neptune myself. We'll get there soon.
Myself. Oh shit, he full. That man was insane. Fully gone. Alright. What's up down here? Bam. And it was going so fast. Yeah, I did search him already. What the hell are going? Okay, let's go up. Alright, where are we going now?
All out a little light? At Surgical Savings, we'll happily work out an affordable payment plan for any major procedure. Potentially terminal illnesses won't wait until payday.
Sounds like another tunnel collapse. Welcome to Rapture, the world's fastest growing pilot joke.
What the hell just
It's a little one. Here's your chance to get some Adam.
Stay away from her, or it is you who will be shot next.
Easy now, Doctor. He's just looking for a wee bit of Adam. Just enough to get by.
I'll not have him hurt my little ones.
It's okay, lad. That's not a child. Not anymore, at least. Dr. Tenenbaum saw to that.
Bitte do not hurt her. Have you no heart?
Aye, that's a pretty sermon coming from the ghoul who cooked up them creatures in the first place.
Okay.
Find little girls and turn them into that, didn't you? Listen to me, Bio. You won't survive without the Adam.
I think I will.
Are you prepared to trade your life, the lives of my wife and child, for Tenenbaum's little Frankenstein?
Here. There is another. Use this. Free them from their torment. I will make it to be worth your while. Somehow.
Rescue.
No! 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 Thank you. Thank you for
Path of the
helping me.
righteous is not always easy. Yes. The reward will become clear in time. Be patient.
Run like a miss, run.
Tenenbaum's playing you for a sap. Those things may look like wee little girls, but looks don't make it so. You need all the Adam you can get to survive. If you cross paths with another of them gatherer's garden machines, make sure you pick up a new plasmid or two. That's if the price ain't too dear, of course.
Okay. Nice. What's this, Playfilm?
BioShock was groundbreaking in many regards when it released in 2007, though fundamentally it
Okay,
shared many
backstory.
consistencies with the Rational System Shock series. What elements of System Shock translated into BioShock, and what was refined, altered, and innovated upon to create the world of Rapture? Let's take a look at the long road from System Shock to BioShock.
Well, here's a short film. What is System Shock anyway?
Everyone knows where the game ended up, but I think fans would be interested to learn where this game or the idea of doing this game started. And I think, you know, folks know System Shock and the legacy.
No,
of
me
that
not know a
game,
System Shock,
huge
brother.
fan base. Did it start as a System Shock game initially?
No,
What is System
okay.
Shock?
We didn't have the rights to that.
Yeah.
Right? We kind of felt that there was more game design to mine there. You know, that it was sort of, we did that one game, and it was sort of the first game that really combined shooting and RPG. And it was a very small budget. You know, it was a very small team, and it was the first game we had ever done. So we got pretty lucky, I think, in terms of how well it came out. But but the odds were sort of stacked against it. And the team, you know, was really enthusiastic about doing a game like that. You know, and time had evolved, and the team was much more. We had done a bunch of games together, and we were, you know, we had a stable technology base.
I always see.
And we were like, okay, well, let's.
It's a Steam game.
Which System Shock 2 was
System
not.
Shock.
I mean, that engine, no game had ever shipped on that engine. It was a very crude piece of technology. Most of us had never shipped a game at the time. So like, well, what if we had a stable technology base, and we had a team that was more experienced and more seasoned, and we had, you know, an actual, like, art director, and, you know, which we didn't really have on System Shock 2. You know, what could we do? And so I think there was a lot of enthusiasm in the team to really try to do a more mature version of that kind of game. You know, this is before we had sold the company to Take-Two, and we were an independent developer, right? We were sitting there, we were using the money we made from other development deals we had, and we would try to scrape together whatever time and money we had to work on this thing. And it was not actually something I was particularly keen on doing. The team was much more keen on doing a sort of a System Shock-ish game than I was, because...
That's your pitching, right? Like System Shock 3 at one point, right?
Well, I mean, there was an actual System Shock
Right.
3 that we were pitching
Okay.
back in the day when we were right after System
But
Shock.
is System Shock a good game?
We couldn't get anybody interested, because System Shock 2 sold like 5 copies, right? And so,
What?
as the business guy, the guy who
Guess
had to
not.
not only just sort of write the content, but the guy who had to go out and get the deals and pay everybody, I wasn't particularly excited about doing this, because it was very disappointing when we did System Shock 2 and nobody bought it. You know, it got great reviews, it got these insane reviews, but it left us in a place where it didn't really move the needle for us in terms of making payroll. So I wasn't super excited about it, because I didn't see a publisher be interested in it, and I didn't see the audience actually be particularly interested in this kind of game. And it was really the team who convinced me to invest in this, because they're enthusiastic. I think a lot of them came to the studio because of System Shock 2. And so finally, they sort of battered me down. I mean, it's good they did, because I was not the first fan of doing this.
And I know initially there was something called the Serene Dawn.
What?
That was a spaceship?
The name
Or what
of
was
it.
that?
Yeah, it's the name of a cult,
It was a
right?
cult,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That one's, I think, been lost to the... If I remember correctly, Serene Dawn was a cult. You were
Animation lead and
playing
director
as
of BioShock
a programmer
Infinite.
that was infiltrating the cult, and your name happened to be Carlos Coelho, who was one of our programmers at the time.
It's named after him, yeah. And there was a story notion that I always really found interesting, which was that you have these cults, and you have sometimes people who, they're these sort of characters who are really live on the edge of the gray morality, which is these guys who come in and essentially kidnap people out of these cults, or rescue them, depending on how you look at it. Because what it really is, from a functional standpoint, it's a kidnapping, right? You're coming to an adult, and you're saying, you know, you're hired by their parents or whoever. And this was in the story, it was like a senator whose daughter was join one of these religious movements called the Serene Dawn. You said,
Yeah,
the
Serene
Serene
Dawn.
Dawn. And I always thought that was a really interesting tension of this hero who's basically a kidnapper. And taking a young woman against her will out of the place that she was in. Now, you could also make the other argument that, well, she was not really there by her will. But there's a really interesting conversation that goes on.
Yeah,
I think
between
there's
it.
actually a Kate Winslet movie, a Harvey Keitel Kate Winslet movie, which dealt with a similar theme. Because usually you hear that story, you know, these deprogrammers as a sort of heroic kind of notion. But I always thought that there's something interesting about agency going on there, and about are people entitled to make bad mistakes, or is it a bad mistake? It all depends on the person. I'm not a fan of religious cults or religion in general, but there seemed to be an interesting discussion of freedom there and independent decision making.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that idea was cool. And
So what happened
that
to
was
it?
sort
They
of
never
the
bother
basis
make
of
it.
for a while, but it was really mostly for the purpose of we needed something to go out and pitch to publishers.
Oh.
And so we know we didn't have a ton of time to really develop it, so that sounded like, all right, this will do for now.
And was that pre-Underwater City? I mean, this was just like an idea for a story.
We may have stepped away from that to do the cult thing, but then we went back to the underwater.
No, we had that one room, remember?
We had the one World War II room with the roaches on the ground and like these weird test tube things that you could walk around. I don't know where that fell. It could have been underwater. There was no windows.
The thing is, we were a small business, right? And we were trying to figure out a way to sell this thing with spending the least amount of money, because we didn't have any money. We didn't have a pot to piss in. So we would do this demo. That was one room basically, just to show. And I'd write up a document, and we'd take it around. I'd fly around the country, be like, "Here's our room." It was a different time, And
we had just come off of
SWAT 4.
One of the advantages we had is that we were so familiar with that engine at that point that we could really start cranking through, small rooms and lighting and making things look good. So
I took it on the road to sell it to somebody, and nobody cared. We'd go to a publisher, and look, they have to make money, right? And we'd say, "Oh, it's sort of a spiritual successor to System Shock 2," and they'd be like, "Well, how did that sell?" And I'd be like, "My mom likes it, and they would be like, "Well, we can't, And usually we'd be talking to a fan. A lot of executives, like sort of junior executives, were fans of System Shock, and they'd go to their boss and they'd be super excited, and their boss would open up, their Excel spreadsheet and be like, "No, we can't do this." And I think the pitch probably evolved as we kept trying different permutations trying to sell, but we were also out there trying to sell like 2 or 3 other things at the time. We had a pitch for a game called Monster Island, and
well, our SWAT 5 pitch was
Zombie SWAT.
Yeah, we had just come off of SWAT 4, which is like hardcore tactical, and we decided.
So BioShock never did have to make
SWAT, and we didn't really want to do another hardcore tactical game. So we're like, what if we added zombies to SWAT? Like,
And this
you're a
is
SWAT team that fights zombies and werewolves. That sounds awesome. And it was like, no, it doesn't.
And this is before. This is
We're not gonna
before zombies were a thing.
Yeah.
And so we came up with this thing called Division 9.
Division 9, yeah.
That probably would have been even a bigger financial success than BioShock.
Wow.
But we couldn't get anybody interested in it.
We didn't have enough werewolves in the demo.
We had 0 werewolves in the demo. Yeah, we were going to have werewolves, weren't we?
Werewolves and vampires. That was the
Oh,
whole
really?
yeah.
Division 9.
There's
Like,
zombies.
just throw it all the Universal Studios monsters from like,
Oh wow.
yeah.
So what happened is we couldn't sell it, but we were always sort of independent minded. And so I said, well, what if we sort of did this in reverse? Instead of getting a publisher first and then doing a press tour on it, what if we sort of did the press first? And we called up a guy, Andrew Park, who was at GameSpot at the time, who was a fan of System Shock 2 and a great guy. And I said, will you come out and look at this thing we're doing and write a story on it? And he was like, sure. And Andrew flew out, and we showed him what we had, which is this very, very rudimentary thing about an underwater base. And he wrote up an article and sort of featured as that this is the spiritual successor to System Shock 2. And the next day, the phone started ringing from publishers who now all of a sudden saw that the article was getting all this pickup and all these comments, and people were excited. And that really, I think, put it over the top in terms of being able to sell it, even though it was not BioShock at that point. It was called BioShock, but it was not BioShock. There would have been I don't think there would have been a game. We never would have sold it without Andrew coming out doing that.
My belly's full of angels.
Okay. That was a nice little film of the way named their feet. Enrage target cause it to attack someone other than you. Armadillo shell. Increase max EVA. That is a good. And let's do. Where was the other one?
Not only are those little girls veritable atom factories, they're nearly indestructible. They regenerate any...
Enrage your enemies. Laugh as your enemies fight each other.
wounded flesh with stem versions of the dead cell. But their relationship with the implanted slugs is symbiotic. If you harvest the slug, the host will die.
Enrage your enemies. Laugh as your enemies fight each other.
So you see, it's not like killing Genetically. It's more like removing a terminal patient from life support.
That still not mean mega kill them.
We can sink, you know. Mind your blasted manners. Go and run.
Fight for me! Fight for me!
Clean it up, you little nothing.
Lion asks you a
Close
simple
the
question.
pages.
Are you
One to the brain. Dead in one corner. Oh wait, now run this. Oh shit, what me is that?
You're ready now. Time to take on one of them big daddies. It won't be easy, but it's the only way to get to little sister and the atom they carry.
God damn it! Oh, me switch back over to the way name there.
Come, you prick!
Hello? Hanger on, parasite.
I'm Batman.
What is the greatest lie ever created? What is the most exquisite ever perpetrated on mankind? Slavery.
Why?
Why won't you move, Mr. Bubbles? No! 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 No!
I'll save you.
Thank you, mister. Thank you. Oh, I'm ready for dream time, Mr. Bubbles.
Go on then, take your whore and go. But I'm keeping everything. Everything!
We probably need a way name there. The problem is it not show me off your way name there.
Are you almost back to emergency access? Come through as soon as you get there. You got Ryan's eye now. You won't hear them coming, but it'll be there before you know it.
You're crawling! You're sick!
Oh boy.
toxic! I'm opening you up!
This is delightful.
I'm the goddamn doctor!
Son of a bitch.
Don't you want to take a walk with me?
Are you there?
I'm not fighting no one another, man. You could have it back, but you're unsanitary.
Security alert deactivated. Thank you for your patience.
I don't know how you managed it, but you did. Call through to Port Neptune now. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand.
Okay, we have 80. Nice. Port Neptune. Yeah. Here is the perfect place to stop it. Right here, so it's the perfect place to stop it. So we're gonna stop it right here, so. One of the problem I have are changing how about my power them. That is one of the problems I'm having right now. Because it's either I have it or I not have it. Because I not see no way to change them. I not see no way to change them. But anyway, I'll say I'm going to stop it right here. So the time being, I truly hope to see you guys on the next one. Till then, stay safe. I'm out.